By the way, Eric, I forgot to tell you this. Before I left LA back to New Zealand, but I did end up trying Jollibee, by the way,
Ooh,
and it was pretty freaking dope, dude. I
hell
loved it.
yeah.
My regret is I didn't. I wish I had it sooner. It's so good.
Hey, it's probably good that you didn't because then that would have been the only thing you would have been eating the entire visit that you were here. But
Honestly, that's true. Like I love the spaghetti, dude. Like I didn't think I would like it that much because like is it considered fast food? Because it did not feel like it was fast food.
yeah, I mean it's as much fast food as like, your KFCs, your Popeyes. It's in that same general like
Nah,
grouping.
surely not. I've tried the KFC over in the U.S. Totally different experience down here, but
100%.
no way Popeye, no way Jollibee's in the same category. That's disrespectful, man.
No, Jollibee's is an institution, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. They are, and it's funny because like anytime I recommend Jollibee, like it's undefeated. I've
Mm.
never had someone come back and be like, "Oh, it was mid," or like, I didn't love it." Every time it's like, "Dude, this was so good." So it warms my Filipino heart to know that you enjoyed it.
Hell, and I appreciate it, man. It was actually kind of interesting because before I had Jollibee, I was a lot of my friends were, trying to get me to try Filipino food because I haven't had it before, and we had
Yeah,
some Filipino stuff open up around my area. So I tried like chicken adobo. I tried balut. It was good. I had a good time. It was awesome.
you're crushing it with the Filipino cuisine, man.
Ah, I appreciate it. I do wanna like start eating divulging more into it apart from like the main two because everyone told me just to start with those two first. Although I don't think
Great
people
place to
usually
start.
start with the balut first, but I don't know. But I decided to do it anyway.
Usually people start off with lumpia because it's the
Mhm.
closest to any other kind of like party food, snack food. It is the ultimate snack food. But balut is a fantastic place to like just dive into the more off the beaten path Filipino cuisine.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be just normal for you. Like you've gotten past the balut barrier, and now
Mhm.
you can explore all that the cuisine has to offer.
Ah! Hmm. Welcome back to another episode of OverVoice Season 4. Today, I am joined by the lovely Aeric Azana here. Eric, would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
Yes, hello. That is the first time anyone has like introduced me as lovely, and that warmed
Really?
me.
No, no freaking way.
Um,
What did they say? Who said it? What is it?
I'm Eric Azana. I'm a Filipino American voice actor based in Los Angeles, um, and I'm just stoked to be here. I'm stoked to. I was honored that you asked me to be part of this. I've been. Uh, to everywhere, it feels like. I'm a military brat. I have a musical theater background, and I'm, as you can tell, big fan of Big Blue. So that's me.
Hell yeah. I didn't know you were part of the military. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a weird like parasocial relationship that you have as like a military brat. So you're the child of someone who's in the military. So
Ah,
you
gotcha.
get basically all of the downsides and none of the benefits.
Oh, right. Okay.
But my father served, I believe it was 25 years in the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, wow.
Moved around a lot while I was a kid, and he retired in 2011.
Oh, wow.
2011, I want to say, yeah.
Well, different countries, but thank you and I appreciate his service.
I will pass that along for sure. Appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I don't know what I don't know what it's like being like a military brat. It's you mentioned none of the upsides. Like what is the upsides? I want to know actually, if you don't mind me
You know,
asking.
when you're an adult, or at least able to enlist, which I think at this in this country is around 18.
Yeah.
You get like the government will pay for your schooling. They'll pay to relocate you whenever you get assigned to a new assignment.
Yeah.
You get a lot of benefits like going on base, commissary. I was just talking about this to somebody the other day. The commissary is like this little marketplace on any military, usually any military base, where it's normal like goods, clothing, electronics, food, but because it's on a military base, it's not taxed.
Ah,
So
gotcha.
you get things at big discounts, which is awesome. But as a kid, you don't really know to do any of that. And
Oh,
as the, you know, as a child of someone who's in the military, the only thing you know about it is that you basically have to pick up and move your life every 3 to 4 years.
mm.
So it's difficult to, make friends. It's difficult to have like what people would consider like a normal childhood.
Ah, I get it.
And it's a tough environment. It's a tough environment to grow up in. You are the new kid
Mm.
everywhere you go, and just when you start to feel comfortable, time to pick up and go somewhere else.
Did you
So
end up moving?
it's
Did you end up moving a lot growing up?
yeah. So basically, every 3 to 4 years, we would pick up and move to another place. So
Oh wow.
it was tough. It was tough, but it taught me a lot about structure, taught me a lot of lessons that I don't think I would have otherwise learned. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of the experience from someone who enlists versus someone who is either married to or the child of someone who enlists
Okay.
is it's the same experience, but it's not the same. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's definitely an experience for sure.
No, hell yeah, dude. It's no, it sounds like a lot because you said move every 3, 4 years, which is actually not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. So I guess
No.
so. I guess what I wanted to ask in that sense is like, what is it like to, essentially kind of like start again, basically start again, and then and just kind of yeah, basically just start again and just from like the ground up and just sort of continue and moving on and while holding on to the old relationships that you have. Hopefully, it's
It's funny. As a kid, it's incredibly hard. I think
yeah.
it's hard regardless whether you're a kid or an adult. But I think when you're an adult and you kind of know more about the world and more about your job and you understand why you're relocating, it's a little bit of an easier pill to swallow. Where when you're a kid, you just know that the friends you have, you're not going to have in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, that must
And
be crushing,
it's
dude.
it's tough. It's tough. When I was growing up, I used to be really like it used to be a big sticking point where I would get really jealous of other kids who have been like, yeah, I've known this person since I was in kindergarten. I've known this person since I was in elementary school. I don't have any of that. And it was a big sticking point for me for a long time, to the point that when we eventually settled into the place where my dad retired, which was Arizona, um, I now have friends who I went to college with, who I've known for 10 plus years. And I'm like, that's weird. I don't know how to maintain friendships for this long. I get a clean slate every 3 to 4 years when I'm growing up. So it's 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 provided me an excuse to take stock of my friendships,
No, that's
and
good.
it's given me a greater appreciation for maintaining friendships, especially ones that go across, time and state lines.
Yeah. And what was it like moving from Arizona to Los Angeles? Like that's a nothing to scoff at. It's a big move.
For sure. I mean, it's not as big a move as some people can or will be making soon, but
Yeah, fingers crossed,
it's
man.
it's a big move, I think, in any sense, because where I moved from is Tucson, Arizona,
Mm,
and Tucson, comparatively, especially to LA, is a very small town.
very much.
We have one highway that goes around the town, and if you want to get anywhere else, it's all surface streets. And it was easier for me than it was for my now wife. We had been together for about 2 years at that point, and she was born and raised in Tucson, so all of her family
Oh,
was there, and it was a big shift for her. For me, it was a little bit easier. I had all the experience moving around as a kid, but I mean,
yeah,
I had spent 12 years there at that point, the longest that I've lived anywhere,
yeah.
and it was weird. it was weird. You got to get used to, and I mean, you'll know this, but like getting used to Los Angeles, even just as a visitor, is like, oh my God, there are 100 different highways going six different directions
Oh
just
yeah.
to get to one place. And so it was a big culture shock. The move was a little rocky, but we made it work. We had a little bit of trouble finding a place, which I'm sure to anyone who has moved to LA is not a surprise.
Yeah.
But we've been very fortunate to be living in the same place that we moved to, in 2016.
Nice. Hell yeah. I wanted to ask as well because I know with moving to LA, it's a huge shift, but
Yeah.
I do know that the closest Waffle House to Los Angeles is in Arizona. So like
Oh,
you're giving up Waffle House to be here. That's a sacrifice. But so
I'm giving up a lot of stuff. Giving up a lot of stuff. Arizona has some hidden gems. Shout out to anybody who is from Arizona who is listening to this. We don't have any EGs. We don't have any Whataburger. We don't have any. We don't have any Huevo Caneto, which is a Sonoran hot dog place. I miss Sonoran hot dogs all the time.
nice.
Um, and the just the food in Arizona. I know that Los Angeles is this big like. Melting pot of a lot of different stuff, and you can find serviceable versions of virtually anything. But there's something about Arizona food, Sonoran food, man, that really just it hits every single time I go back home.
Hell yeah, dude. And yeah, dude. What got you into voiceover? How did you end up like finding your way into this path?
So it's funny because I fell into it by accident, like I do with most things,
Fair.
and voiceover. I came out to LA to work on TV and film. I have a theater and on camera background,
Oh, cool.
and I was working at a restaurant a couple years after we had moved, and I had a coworker who was also an actor, and she was telling me, "Oh, I just took this class with this wonderful human being named Sue Boyajian, who is just the light of the world." And she was like, I really enjoyed that voiceover class. I think you should give it a shot. And I'd been given that comment before where they're like, "Oh, we really like your voice. You should think about, have you ever voiced anything? Have you ever I had this moment when I was working at a yard house back in Arizona is the location that I opened, where this table of three ladies, very nice, very pleasant. Uh, at a certain point, were like, "Oh, we love your voice. It's so nice." And one of the ladies who hadn't said anything the entire meal, they'd been there for about like 35, 40 minutes. I'd been serving them. And she looked up at me. The first interaction, first thing she ever said to me at any point during this meal, she goes, "Have you ever thought about being a sex phone operator?" And
Wow.
I think I can trace back my relationship with voiceover to that moment of being like so caught off guard. Like, how do you ask someone that? And moreover, how do you respond? So that was the first time where I really thought about, oh, maybe you can make some money off of your voice. But I think my love of VO obviously comes back to childhood, as most people do, with the media that we consumed as kids. I was a big Saturday morning cartoon kid, and because we moved around a lot, there wasn't a lot of structure or consistency. And so the thing that I always found consistent, the thing that stuck with me was fiction, was my media. Comic books, cartoons, and I remember very distinctly my first inclination of voiceover wasn't even really like a actual, "Oh my God, there are voices and people who are paid to do these." I know there are some people who, as kids were like, "I heard cartoons and I was like, I want to voice that." Maybe I was dumb, but I was like, "No, these are real people that are just we are documenting their lives." And the first time I ever really had this inclination of like, wait a second, that voice sounds familiar, was during Superman the Animated Series. I
Nice.
was a big Goofy movie kid. I
Mm.
love the Goofy movie, and I love extremely Goofy movie. I know some people are like, "Oh, it's aged." No, it hasn't. You've aged. I love those movies, and Max is my guy. Max Goof is my dude. And I remember watching Superman the Animated Series for the first time, and young Clark Kent has the same voice actor as Max Goof.
Oh,
And
I
I
didn't know
remember
that.
watching this going, why does he sound like Max? That's weird. And it wasn't until later on where I was like, oh, there are voice actors. They voice characters. This is their job. This is their livelihood. And so when I was finally given the opportunity by this friend telling me to go to this voiceover class, I took to it like a fish to water. Like I was like, this is incredible. I love creating. And I got to put a lot of my training to use in it. So that's my very long-winded origin story on voiceover.
Hell yeah! All because of Max Goof, and I
All
appreciate it.
because of everything traces back to Max Goof and Superman.
Hell,
That is
you know
my
what?
origin story.
I still haven't seen the Extremely Goofy movie yet. I've seen the first
Oh, it's
one
a
way
gem.
back when, but I have not seen like the sequel. Although I did see like a documentary of like the first Goofy movie, I think.
Yes.
Uh,
Great
I, s-
documentary.
I saw clips, but I need to watch the full thing. But look, it looks great. Um, but, but no, that's sick, man. I was kind of like I was a stupid kid, so like when I saw like characters, like obviously I was like, oh, these characters are real. Like there's no way
Right.
until like a cartoon like broke the immersion by losing the budget for the animation and the cartoon. It was Chowder, by the way. So
I was gonna say that I'm glad you specified because there are so many shows that also did that it's so hard to narrow that down.
until they like broke the fourth one and broke my immersion, I was like, oh, these are actual real people that do this. That
Yeah.
was sort of like my realization. My world was just expanded at that point at like what, like 8 years old, I think. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
um
man.
but but yeah, man, I want to ask actually, ever since like moving to LA and things like that, obviously it's like voiceover, like it's a completely different feel from what it used to be. So I want to know, like, from your perspective, what's it like seeing, like, Southeast Asian culture, especially like Filipino culture, like being more
Oh,
prominent in media, more actors, showing up, getting their shine, time to shine, and praises. Like, what do you think? What do you think of that?
dude, it's incredible, man. Like genuinely, the accessibility, to voiceover just in general has exploded in recent years, and it's allowed for more stories to be told than we would often see. I am a big gamer, and maybe my favorite game of all time. It changes day to day, but maybe my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy X.
Mm.
And one of the reasons for that, besides it being my first Final Fantasy and the best Final Fantasy, is that it put front and center island culture
Mm.
and is very specifically a Southeast Asian inspired game. A lot of the themes in that game, a lot of the settings, a lot of the treatment of characters in that game is so inspired by that perspective. And I had been chasing the dragon of finding stuff like that for most of my life. And the spotlight on stories of cultures that we don't normally, and I say normally as in like the last 20 years, uh, dive into has been incredible to see. Like you would have been hard pressed, 15, 20 years ago to have big games featuring a specifically Filipino character.
Mm.
They would have been grouped into any other, a lot of Asian rep for, forever has been if you are East Asian, that means you are Asian. And there is no
Yeah.
like other thing that goes along with that. And to see not just the accessibility of South Asian, Southeast Asian actors really get their foot in the door and get time in the room, but to also be exploding into popularity for some of the most popular properties that we're getting. I mean, it's humbling, it's exciting, it lights a fire under me as a performer and as someone who wants to be part of these things. But it's so cool that we're seeing stuff where there are kids right now who might be stupid kids like we were and are able to look at that stuff and be like, oh, sick, I could get in a giant robot one day. Like, it's priceless, man. It really is.
Hell yeah! I also really like my one of my favorite things in modern day, which is actually kind of a weird thing to say, actually. But no, you'll know why. But because I just like it when like big celebrities are like, oh, by the way, I'm part Filipino, by the way. I'm like, why didn't you say so earlier, dude? Like,
Why did you say that? Darren Chris, all right? I have a bone to pick with Darren Chris for the rest of my life because that boy does not look Filipino. And he would have done a lot of good while he was kicking ass and taking names on Glee to say, hey, by the way, guys, I'm also half Filipino. Just want to put that out there so that other musical theater kids who are also half Filipino, me, could see themselves and get that kind of boost of I can do
yeah.
this too. So I will fist fight Darren Chris one day. It will happen, and then we'll have a great beer afterwards.
I'm honestly surprised and kind of impressed that he was able to hide the fact that he was half Filipino for the entirety of Glee. And that show was a long fucking show, dude.
It was a long fucking show, and it explored so many other things that the fact that he was half Filipino never came up is crazy to me. But no, I love that we are seeing, people really put their nationality and their identity forward because there have been times where it has been not cool per se to be considered Asian. And media has been very unkind to Asian culture often. And so to see people uplifting it and people being proud of it, I mean, you look at Haley Steinfeld, of all people, who is ruling the world right now. She's half Filipino. Like, you see all of these people who are, someone's favorite actor, and all of a sudden their accessibility to you and the avenues that you can explore as a person, as a performer, are all of a sudden opened up to you because there are people like you who all have already done it.
Mm. I think they hide it because I think the reason they hide it is because Filipino people are so beautiful, So it's like they say like, oh, what's your secret? Oh, I'll never tell, but buy my makeup brand or my perfume or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's so true.
Like, I don't know if it's just a me thing, but like pretty much every single Filipino person I've met is like the most beautiful person on the planet. So it's like, damn, I don't know what's in those genetics, but damn,
Hey,
I wish.
I'm gonna let you know, it's all Jollibee and lumpia. Like, once
I knew it.
that's our true skincare routine, is what it is.
Oh, you just like get like the fucking spaghetti from Jollibee and just like wipe it on your
You
face.
just slather it all over your face. It's the gravy. That's the secret. That's
Ah,
why they always give you like 3 tubs of gravy because
it
you're
all
not
makes
using
sense.
it for just your food. It's also as a face mask.
Oh, that's so how considerate and kind of them. I appreciate that.
We're also incredibly considerate. I don't know if you knew that about Filipino people, but we we love to give back.
Yeah, it's like an extra reward for like opening your mind's eye, I
Of
guess.
course. Of
Just
course.
rub the gravy on that. But speaking of Filipino, dude, first off, congratulations on making it into Honor of Kings, by the way.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. Hey, I'm
not
I'm I'm happy to be joining the family with you, man.
Hell yeah! Not only that, a pretty cool, badass, playable character. Lapu Lapu, if am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah,
Um,
Lapu Lapu it's insane, man.
because I remember like seeing like the whole animations, like the trailer even, and it's like destroyer of colonizers, and like damn dude, that's fucking badass as shit. Like how'd you feel like playing a role like that was like super tied to like Filipino culture?
Dude, it's part of the pun. The greatest honor of my life. Like, I so to wind the clock back a little bit, as somebody who is half Filipino, the diaspora of being half anything is always gives you a complicated relationship with either culture. And so I have been, for most of my life, trying to find where I fit in with my Filipino heritage, my Scottish heritage on my mother's side. And it's tough to be saddled between two worlds, essentially. And so any opportunity that I get to really uplift my culture is one that I jump at. And when I got the opportunity to play Lapu Lapu, I did not know, first of all, that that is who I was going to be doing. And when I finally got in the booth and they showed me the artwork, um, they showed just how tied he was to Filipino history. Lapu Lapu, for those of you who may not be aware, was a real person. Lapu Lapu was a person who of Filipino and specifically Cebu descent who fought against Spanish colonizers and was actually the led the effort to defeat Magellan, who a lot of people know from school as as the Spanish explorer, also deeply colonizer. Um,
Yep.
but Lapu Lapu was the person who turned back the tide of Spanish colonization and delayed that for about 4 decades. And so this guy is a hero. There are statues of him all over the Philippines. And so when I was given the opportunity to voice this guy, I literally, and you can ask anybody who was in the session, I had to take a second. I had to like take a second to step back and be like, oh my God. Like me? All right, I guess. So I've never felt more Filipino than being able to voice somebody who's
Hell
so
yeah, dude.
tied to Filipino culture. I got to speak Tagalog for it.
Oh, cool.
It was just genuinely from start to finish the session was so fun. Shout out to Michael Sorich, the
Mm.
GOAT, an incredible director who makes
Hell
every
yeah.
session so fun. Uh, it was just and Mitch Komen, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Mitch. He is engineer extraordinaire,
Yes.
makes his living making other people sound good. Uh, they created such an environment for me to really dig into this character and really feel like I was living the life of this person who is so iconic and has been for decades, if not centuries. It was a huge honor for me, seriously.
Hell yeah, dude. And you brought and from what I've heard and what I guess the fans have been hearing, I'm sure they will agree that you did a wonderful job, bro.
I Thanks, man. I the response has been really positive, which is
Nice.
always like a weird thing to say, but when you are an actor working on a project, especially a high profile project, especially with something that is so tied to a specific culture, there
Mm.
is that worry of, am I doing enough? Am
Yeah, especially
I
playing like a prominent person in like Filipino culture. Like that's some big shoes to fill,
exactly?
you know?
Exactly. And it's like, am I doing enough? Am I Filipino enough? Are people going to look at me and be like, no, he's a fraud? Those doubts do creep in. And it has been really nice to see how positive the response to him has been. How the response to my performance has been. He's also just a cool character. Like
Yeah, he's so
he's got
cool,
he's got
dude.
the classic big sword and shield, and secretly one of the reasons that I was so excited when I got his artwork in the session was I was like, he looks like Jacked from Final Fantasy X. I love this. I get to be in Final Fantasy X, which is what I told myself the entire time. But no, it was so cool to be playing this character on a stage like that. They debuted him on maybe the biggest stage that you could, because Honor
Mm.
of Kings is having its big like worldwide tournament
Yeah, they are.
championship in Manila.
Oh,
So
dude,
like
nice.
all eyes are on the Philippines when it comes to that fan base, and to have that be, kind of the crown jewel of that whole event was incredibly humbling.
It was funny though when this was like after I booked Honor Kings the first time and I was
Yeah.
in LA. I was because I kept up to date with like the news. I actually heard that there was like a Filipino character coming to the game from stuff like that. And when I heard it was you, I was like, fucking prophecies, bro. It's
Yeah.
revolutions. You know what I mean? Let's fucking go, dude.
It's crazy because, like, we talk about it all the time, how big of a city LA is, but Hollywood, very small.
Mm,
And the longer you spend in the industry, the smaller that circle gets because there's a large amount of people who will get into it, not get immediate success, and then leave. And so it's the people who stick with it, who are with it for a while, who continue to better themselves, their craft, who you will run into again and again and again and again. I mean, you and I took classes together for years before
yeah,
we
man.
actually saw each other in person. And by the time we did, I mean, I think I'm allowed to say this, you're crushing it.
No, I appreciate that, man. Do you have to get permission to say that from someone? Like you're.
I want to make sure that I'm not, blowing up your spot since this is your show, but like
Oh,
it's
dude, I
and
appreciate that, man.
it
Thank you.
it it means it is so cool to see people who you take classes with and you see them grow and you see them improve and like build their craft and then watching them get to ply that trade and other people seeing the stuff that you have been seeing. It's some of the most fulfilling things about this job.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. And
Of
obviously,
course.
same goes back to you as well. Like I remember like joining a few classes like I want to say like maybe 2 3 years ago, and like crazy like how far things have come since. It's insane. So
It's
it's like
nuts. It's
and like
nuts.
classes are like a great place to meet people perform and just
100%.
just have fun. Like I find that the like most organic way to like meet people in the industry. Sometimes, I mean, of course you could just meet them on like Discord or Twitter or
For
something,
sure.
but like when you're like in a class setting, you at least like get to see their faces and all that stuff, and like that's a huge thing for me at least. But of course,
Same.
totally fine if not, if unless I hear you, that's totally cool too. But
But
I
no,
also want.
like
Oh,
getting to
sorry.
see people in person. No, sorry, but like getting to see people in person, you get to see people at their most vulnerable because they are oftentimes, playing these characters who either they are fans of or have never seen before. They got the copy maybe the day before or they're cold reading,
Oh
which
yeah.
I think is the most vulnerable you can be as an
Oh yeah.
actor, is watching someone cold read because you're seeing their instincts, you are seeing their training all in one 5 to 10 minute like span of time and watching people who you don't know, who sometimes are across the ocean from each other, um, is incredibly fulfilling. And it builds up that sense of community that makes this job so enriching.
I forgot to ask as well. If you have you ever been back to the Philippines ever since you like moved to LA? Have you ever like gone back and forth for any trips to see family or anything?
I would love to. It monetarily hasn't been in the cards so
That's
far,
fair.
but
It's
I'm
probably really
hoping that
expensive.
we can. My dad tries to go back every couple of years.
Mm.
My Lola tries to go back as often as she can. I'm fortunate that a lot of my dad's side of the family have moved to the U.S., so I'm
Mm.
still able to connect with them and
That's
be
good.
part of their have them be part of my lives. I would love to see them more often than I do, but it is nice and it's easier than trying to plan a trip to the Philippines. But I would love to go at some point. Um, I mean, my dad came from Manila to the US when
Yeah.
he was, I think, 16 or 17.
Wow.
So, it would be amazing to go back. It would be amazing.
I was wondering though, does your family in the Philippines? Because you mentioned like Lapu-Lapu having statues there. Did they ever
Yeah.
like send you pictures of the statue and was like, oh, that's you?
No, not yet, not yet. That that would be insane. It's funny we haven't because we're busy and so we haven't really had a chance to like really get into the nitty gritty and talk about it. But it meant a lot to me to be able to say like, hey, like I heard stories of this guy and now I am also part of that legacy in a very small way. So it's very cool.
Hell yeah. I have a difficult question to ask you here.
Okay.
But I know you're a Superman fan.
Yes.
Through many mediums. So I wanted to ask you, in your humble opinion, and I dare I say professional opinion, who do you think is the best Superman?
Oh
Why?
no. Oh gosh. Are we talking just like voiceover or live action?
Everything.
Oh no. Oh, it's really difficult. I love almost all of them for different reasons. Um I think, kind of starting recent going backwards, I think David Corn Sweat's
Mm,
version of the character is exactly the version of the character that I fell in love with as a kid. Um, from the very moment at the beginning of the film where he flips off of the table and goes, golly. I was just like, there he is. That's my guy. That's my guy. So I love him. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my Lord and Savior Tyler Hoechlin,
mm.
who has been doing the Lord's work for the last however many years, playing as close to my ideal dad Superman as you can find.
Yeah.
I was not super into the casting when it was announced back when Supergirl was still on the air,
Mm,
but he really evolved with that character and got it immediately, but grew into that character in a way that you often don't get to see.
yeah.
Um, I think only him and Tom Welling really get to grow into that character over a long span of time, especially when it comes to TV. Tom Welling, another one who is just iconic for all of the right reasons. Someone who got to grow into Superman from Clark Kent, and we got to go on that journey with him.
Yeah.
When it comes to voiceover, I mean, there are so many good ones, dude. Like, uh, obviously my touch point is Tim Daly, the original
Mm,
voice of Superman from the animated series. Um, he was the voice that I heard for so long, and even when it jumped to Justice League, when George Newbern took up the cape,
yeah.
who also, mind you, started off the tradition of voicing Superman and Sephiroth. That is a
Yeah.
thing.
Wait, is that a
It
tradition? I didn't know that.
it's a tradition. So
That implies it's
if
happened again and multiple
if I had a
times.
nickel for every time a voice actor played Superman and then Sephiroth, I would have two nickels,
Damn.
which is not a lot of nickels, but it's enough to get you somewhere. So George Newbern played Sephiroth in Advent Children,
Yeah.
as well as the his subsequent appearances all the way up until remake. Tyler Hoechlin plays Sephiroth in the remake trilogy, and
Oh shit.
so it is a tradition. Is a tradition, time honored, one might say. Um, but I love all of them for their different versions of it. I want to give a huge shout out to Jack Quaid, who's been
Mm.
crushing it on My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah,
He's
Jack Quaid, if you're
amazing.
watching, bro, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, Jack Quaid, we know you listen every single time. We know you watch. Hey, come on the show. Come on
I'll,
the show.
that'll be awesome.
Uh, I that's another one that I was not immediately like, oh, I love this when it was cast, but just what he's done with that character is
Mm.
so fun and so true to the core tenets of that character. I'm trying to think of any. I mean, it all goes back to Bud Collyer. If
Oh
we're
yeah.
really like looking at it, like Bud Collyer, who originally played Superman in the Superman radio show, later on went to voice him during the Max Fleischer animated films. He was the first guy to be like, "This looks like a job for Superman." Like to make the audio distinction between Clark and Superman while still making them feel like the same character. There is no popularized version of Superman without that. And of
Oh
course,
yeah.
that led to Christopher Reeve, who might be the most iconic of them. His films are showing their age. They did come out,
Yeah.
starting in the late 70s. But how much Christopher Reeve embodied that embodied that character both in film and off the film. There's very little that can be criticized about that performance. So
I remember
to make
seeing Christopher Reeve's like documentary. I think it was like a few or so years ago now. Maybe it was last year, I think. But it's so crazy, like how much his children like look like him. It's insane, and like
yeah, I
embody
mean
his values still. It's amazing.
his son is in the new Superman movie. So like
Oh, I didn't know that.
it's
Who does he
yeah,
play?
he's the news reporter when
Oh, no
the
way.
Justice Gang show up, and he gives like the little like they're this. If you look at him for any amount of time, you're like, oh yeah, you're obviously Christopher Reeve's son.
Yeah,
Like there's no he looks just like his dad. It's
yeah,
crazy. But yeah, it's to make a long answer long. I mean, I love all of them. I love
yeah.
all of them genuinely.
When you mentioned the Sephiroth, the Superman pipeline, I thought you were gonna say something crazy that Lance Bass played Superman at some point. Because I know Lance Bass from NSYNC played Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts
That,
1.
oh, one,
He
sorry.
was yeah, it's still a crazy trivia answer. But I'm sure somewhere, somehow, maybe in like a commercial campaign
Maybe
or
I
for
would personally
something,
love
I'm
that.
sure Lance Bass has voiced Superman somewhere.
Because his credits just can't be, Sephiroth and Trolls World Tour, right? It has to. I want it to grow, you know.
Let's build up his resume. He needs it, you know?
Maybe I don't, is NSYNC still touring? I know Justin Timberlake went to jail for a little bit, but I don't know.
They're always doing stuff, man. I think he's hosting some, or maybe he already did. He's hosting some kind of like parade thing.
Oh, I was gonna say, was it the Macy's Thanksgiving parade? Like that's quite the parade.
No, he was hosting the tree lighting ceremony down at the Grove here.
Oh shit, nice.
But NSYNC, they have cachet forever, so
Oh
people
yeah,
are always going to be like, "Yeah, I'll book NSYNC." So
but still though, I'm maybe it's already happened, but I'm surprised Backstreet Boys and NSYNC haven't done like a collab concert yet. Maybe it has happened. I just don't. It's
maybe it
not heard.
has. I'm sure it, but I mean, for those of you who were not alive during this time, throughout the years, there have been legendary battles between fandoms when it
Oh
comes
yeah.
to, Red versus Blue, Team Jacob versus Team Edward.
Oh my god.
We had NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah.
And if you liked one, you could not like the other, or you
That's
would
true.
be tarred and feathered. And you think I'm joking. That happened. I was a diehard Backstreet Boys kid.
Mm.
I was like, no, NSYNC is the worst. I don't care how catchy Bye 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 is. And it did not do me any favors for the alienation
No,
of
that's
being
fair.
the new kid as the military moving around.
What was that the first thing you did to introduce yourself? You hate NSYNC and love
It's
Backstreet
like, hey,
Boys?
I'm Eric. I am a diehard for Backstreet Boys, and NSYNC can go jump off the nearest bridge.
Damn.
And that's how I started every conversation as a kid. I was very well spoken.
Like here's my hobbies: hating NSYNC.
Here's my hobbies: Kingdom Hearts, Superman, and hating in sync. Those are the three things you need to know about me.
Oh, and
But
then
of course, I mean, if you love one, you love the other. You just couldn't be
that's
vocal
fair.
about it.
That's fair. I'm on the opposite road. I think I prefer NSYNC a little bit more, but not to say
That's fair,
Not to say Backstreet Boys is bad or anything like that. I love them equally.
for
But
sure. They're
if I had to
great.
pick one between the two, actually no, both of them were in like some really good movies. There was this one movie that Backstreet Boys was in. I think it was called Into the World or something. It's just when
Yes.
celebrities were playing themselves, right?
Yep.
But a little bit fantastical, and they all died in the apocalypse, but they all went to heaven and they all did the choreography for
A whole number.
everybody.
Yep. Everybody dressed in white. I remember it fondly. I think this is the end.
Yeah, this is the end. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something to do with the end, but that was like, and then on NSYNC's side, Trolls 2, Trolls World Tour,
Of course.
that's,
Of course.
but of course, gotta pay homage to, Deadpool and Wolverine's opening Bye 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 sequence.
Yes.
My God.
An insane choice that paid off huge for that group and that song specifically.
I still think it's like the best like Marvel opening like in a film that I've ever witnessed. I might be biased here,
Ooh,
but I genuinely think so.
that's tough. There's so many good ones, but I think out of the three Deadpool ones, I think it's probably the best out of the three for
Oh
sure.
yeah, for sure. I have no idea what they're gonna do with Deadpool with like the Avengers stuff because like they're gonna have to tone him down a lot. But
Yeah.
if they have like the cosign to make every Avengers movie like R16, R18, whatever,
Yeah.
like then that's gonna be interesting. But
I
yeah,
think the best thing that they could do for that is to censor him, but make it a joke that he's getting censored. Because
yeah,
as someone who is, aware of the fourth wall, that is a unique thing that you can do for a character that you can't often do for characters who are usually in R-rated stuff and appear in PG-13.
yeah,
So that's something that they could play with that I think they would be chomping at the bit to make fun of.
yeah. In America, is it R16 or is it R18? I don't remember which
I
one's which.
believe, unless I'm wrong, which I often am, I want to say it's R16.
Mm.
Um, I mean, it's been so long since I've been a 16-year-old, so I don't know for sure.
No, me
But
too.
I remember I distinctly remember being in R-rated movies when I was 16 and 17. So
No,
I
that's
think it's
fair.
16.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I think nowadays, like, I always get surprised when I hear this. When parents bring their children to watch like an R something film, and it's like this film is so inappropriate, and like, dude, for my children, like, of course it is. They're not even of age.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, your house, your rules. I get it. Everybody raises their kids differently. But also, I mean, don't have your kid don't bring your kids to don't put them in front of the TV when Welcome to Dairy is on.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah, fair enough.
what are we doing here? Like a
I
lot of
still
times
still need
there's
to
a lot
see
of
that
fake
show, by the
outrage in
way.
the world, but like a lot of times it's like, oh, I can't believe I brought my kids to the long walk and like all this stuff. I was like, what did you think was gonna happen? It's an R-rated Stephen King adaptation. What do you mean?
The best way to
Like
the best way to
I don't
quench that is to make them watch like the first two Home Alones. At least they'll quench their bloodlust or something. I don't know. But, yeah.
like the first two Home Alones, mind you, that boy is a psychopath.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
like it's all hijinks, and there's a difference between hijinks and violence.
Yeah, it
So
was
I don't know. It's
home.
it's a it's a distinction. Obviously, again, when when you are raising your child, only you can raise your child. But
Yeah, of course.
I question some decisions there.
I mean, Home Alone to me is like basically live action Tom and Jerry, where I think the
Yes,
violence gets a little too far, but like I guess it's part of the charm because like there were some shows watching when I growing up was like how was I not traumatized by this? Like I remember watching
agreed.
like Flapjack growing up, and like I was not like that show gets crazy scary, and like looking back, it was like
For sure.
how the hell did I not get nightmares from this? This is horrifying to look at.
And there are some cartoons that are genuinely like upsetting. Like Courage the Cowardly Dog
Yes.
is something that should not have been made for kids. I
Oh
still
yeah.
get nightmares every so often. As a 33-year-old adult, I get nightmares about a show that I watched when I was like 10 because of the subject matter of that show and the characters there. Muriel's brother, you know what you did. I will never be able to see that character even as an adult and not feel a chill up my spine.
Yeah. The thing that scares me is how open Eustace was to abusing his poor dog. Like, damn, dude,
Yes,
fucking hell, bro.
dude, he should not have been an animal owner. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah,
he shouldn't have been.
yeah. I don't know what's tying him to Muriel and why Muriel's staying, but you could do so much better, girl. Come on, man.
Queen, you can do so much better. Go out, test the market. Someone better is there. Eustace is not worth your time.
Yeah, well, it's been like what, like 60 years? Come on, man. Like it's time
No,
to go.
yeah, I think he has shown a pattern of behavior that does
Yeah,
not make
very
me
toxic.
does not convince me that he is wanting or willing to change. So get out
Exactly.
of there.
Although to be fair, they do live in the middle of nowhere, so like it's kind of
True.
like where would they go? I don't know.
But people travel. People travel to their house all the time
Oh
in that
yeah.
show. So you just gotta you you just got to find a good exit plan, a good exit strategy.
Did you
Maybe involve your creepy as hell brother
Oh yeah.
for one time and then never interact with him ever again
Yeah.
to get you out of that house.
Did you see the Scooby Doo and Courage crossover?
Was that? I think that might have been after my time.
Yeah, this was like 2, 3 years ago, I think.
Definitely after my time. But no, I didn't know that there was a crossover.
Yeah, dude, it's so very wholesome. I really like it. It was I forget the actress's name, but I think it was like her last performance as Muriel before she passed away,
Oh,
unfortunately. But like I think you could watch that like on Netflix or something, but
hell
it's
yeah.
such a nice, wholesome like story, and it's canon. It's canon, baby.
Oh,
So like everything that happens in that film is canon to both Scooby Doo and Courage lore. So yeah.
interesting. Okay, because I mean, all of the Cartoon Network shows from like the late 90s through until like 2011 all kind of operate on a loose cannon situation. So like knowing that that is concrete opens up a lot of things for me and my string board that you won't see ever because I can't show that to people. But that's interesting to know. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Hell yeah, please do and let me know your thoughts, dude. It's
I
very wholesome.
will.
I think you really enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
Um, but speaking of movies, it's quite recent news. You know, Mr. Oscar eligible over here. Like, dude, how do you feel? First off, huge fucking congratulations. That's freaking
I
amazing.
mean, listen, gang. It's insane. Uh, I am a very small part of this movie. Uh, but the fact that I am in a movie that is eligible for an Oscar, I don't think it'll win just because there is the field is so
Oh yeah,
stacked.
it's huge. But I have faith. I'm actually hoping it does win because it'll
I
be
if we even just get nominated, like I will be happy because
hell yeah.
like to be in a position to say the movie that I am in is eligible to be awarded at the Academy Awards. Like, this is the shit that we work towards. This is the shit that we dream about. And it's like, I got to give huge props to the entire main cast. They are
Mm.
incredible, especially my boy, David Kwee.
Yeah, so
Uh, I mean, he works so incredibly hard. So this is a huge win for him and for the whole thing. And I'm very excited to ride the coattails of that for a very long time. But
hell yeah.
like once again, just like with Lapu Lapu, it's humbling in a way because you continue to work and as a performer, as an artist, as a creative, you are constantly working towards a goal that you don't often get to see outside of you just kind of visualizing it. And so getting the opportunity to actually take a step back and be like, "Oh, okay. Oh, we're making some noise here." Is like it's the stuff that we live for. It's the stuff that we do this for.
I was gonna say, are you technically a part of history? Because like I don't remember if I've ever like seen like anime be a part of like the Academy Awards aside from like Studio Ghibli. But like I don't know. I've never seen like any of the previous Demon Slayer movies or things like that nominated before. Because
True.
because I say back in the day, but animation wasn't like considered like a
Prestige storytelling.
prestige and yeah
Yeah,
storytelling mechanism because like they just think it was for kids and the majority of it can definitely be tailored towards that I
for
will
sure.
admit but
100%.
but like still though that shouldn't be like a detriment to like their stories and the work that goes into it overall, right?
No, not at all. And I think I didn't even think about I don't have the bandwidth to think about that. But that is like it is a crazy thing to see more and more anime show up because I think a lot of people when they're looking at, the nominations or what could be nominated, what's eligible. I mean, you have your Disney films, your Pixar films. This year, I think the one that's going to take it is K-pop Demon Hunters because how could it not? But like to even have anime on the table or in the room in general is a huge win
Mm.
for the medium, but it's also like it's incredibly encouraging to know that it's being treated, like you said, as more serious prestige storytelling, because there are anime that I have watched that will outdo some of the schlock that gets nominated at the Oscars any day of the week. And
Mm.
to have us be, nominated or eligible to be nominated alongside that schlock, it's incredible. Means the
Hell
world.
yeah.
It's a huge deal to even just see, because like shout out to a mutual friend of ours, Tyler Yamabe,
Mm.
who like texted me. He was like, "Did you see this shit?" Like it blew my mind, and that's the nice thing about about Asians in this industry, as I'm sure you're aware. Like we all show up for each other, and we
Yeah.
all try to like support each other. And it's like whether you're East Asian, South Asian, Southeast Asian, like we're all just like, let's go, let's support each other, let's lift each
Yes,
other up,
sir.
and it's such a cool thing to see, and it was surprising. Um, yeah, yeah,
I will tell you, I forgot. I keep forgetting to like mention to you guys like in the chat, but like I 100 meters actually had a small cinematic run here in Zed actually.
no
Yeah, there was
way.
a dub version, sub version. I saw the dub, obviously. Saw it in like my closest theater. You guys, my God, you guys did amazing. Like, as someone who like ran a lot as a kid and still runs now, like I do have a bit of a bias connection with this film,
Same.
but obviously different, a little bit different from track. I never did like track running, but like running, I guess. Um,
It's universal. Like
yeah,
it's a story about following your passion,
yeah,
and maybe at times rediscovering it or losing that passion.
mm,
And like it's a film with universal themes that just happens to also be a sports anime. And as
yeah.
somebody who did run track when I was younger, like it meant the world. This is my first anime. It's my anime debut.
That's
And to
right.
be
Yeah,
part of that was it's a huge thing. And the film is so good. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I'm sure it'll be streaming somewhere soon.
yes,
But it's incredible. The performances are amazing. The animation alone is amazing. They did rotoscoping for a lot of the running
they did.
sequences
It
to
was
really
beautiful.
make you feel that pressure, that speed. It's an incredibly breathtaking film, and I'm so honored and so happy to be a part of it.
Hell yeah, man. And hey, and one of many more animes to come, I imagine.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's funny because we, as creatives, as actors, we all make goals for ourselves every year,
Oh yeah.
and breaking into anime was my goal for the year, and so it was. And what a way to fucking do it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, hopefully more to come. Fingers crossed.
See, for the Oscars, um, see, I think K-pop Demon Hunters I would be more than happy for K-pop Demon Hunters to take
Same.
music, but for
Oh,
animated,
100%.
film, I don't know, man. I think we should give the spotlight to to another film. Not to say that K-pop Demon Hunters doesn't deserve it. Like,
For sure.
it absolutely does. I wouldn't be surprised if it won, but
Absolutely.
I might be biased here. But like, 100 meters, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, if those win, like an Oscar, like an anime won
I'll
that,
be over the moon.
like that's
I'll be
incredible,
over
dude.
the moon. It's insane. I'm looking at the eligible list right now, and it's just like it is stacked. But like being able to just be in the conversation
Yeah,
is crazy, man. It's very cool to see, and it would be incredible, and I would hang that shit. I would hang that hat on everything for the rest of my life.
oh, absolutely.
Um,
If
but time will tell.
if slash when you guys get nominated, I hope the Academy Awards invites every person a part of that film, including yourself, to the premiere,
That would be nuts. That
But
would be insane.
But I will say, if your presenter is Amy Schumer, get out of there, bro. Like, it's not worth
Yeah.
it, bro.
No, we're okay. Thanks. We're just we're gonna leave. We're gonna
Yeah,
go
let's
find
get the
something
let's
else.
get the highlights. I remember.
Yeah,
seeing,
it would be
I,
crazy.
I remember like back. I think it was like 2022. This is like when the Will Smith slap thing occurred.
Oh
Actually,
gosh.
I was gonna say like what Will Smith. By the time the next Academy Awards rolls out, he's got like what 6 more years that he can come back to attend the Oscars
I
again.
think so. Which I don't want to get into it, but
Not fair
I
enough.
do think that it was a crazy thing that happened, and uh, yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts the kind of things that people will latch on to for a news cycle.
Yeah.
Um, and granted, it was not a shining moment for anybody, but
Oh
it
no, definitely
definitely
not.
made that specific year of the Oscars gave us something to talk about at least.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Amy Schumer hosting, I was like, oh, this shit's gonna go downhill, bro. I was right. But like,
You were correct.
but I was gonna say, what shit? What was I actually gonna say? But like, I think I don't know. It was just it wasn't right. It was just a weird thing. I remember seeing it live. Actually, yeah, this was like live streaming, so I saw it live.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a bit, like I thought it was like a
I think everybody
staged
did.
bit, but like
Yeah.
until Will Smith like started cussing him out, it was like, oh wow, he's
Like, oh,
serious.
maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't involve this in the in the broadcast.
Yeah, and then the worst part was when he actually won an award after that, and he had to
After
get
that,
and he had to get up on stage, dude. It was insane. Oh man, I
what
think
a crazy time.
that was the last time I watched the Oscars like live. But
Yeah.
I think this year I'll be tuning in live to see hopefully you guys win, or if not
Fingers
nominated at
crossed.
least.
It would be insane. Like I said, I'm specifically just speaking for me. I am taking it one step at a time. It's an honor just to be on the list, and if we get nominated, cherry on top.
Hell yeah, man. And speaking of cherries, well, not really. I just wanted to make a nice segue. But I don't know what the fuck.
No, 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 no. Land the plane. Land the plane. You can do it. I believe in you.
No, thank you, man. Like my segues aren't the greatest segues, but there's something. But well, you can't have a good cherry on top without a nice, creamy thing at the top to lay it on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whether that's ice cream, whipped cream,
100%. Yep.
and the cream of the crop of our career is is endurance. In the sense that
Yep.
it can take. I mean, you can hit the ball running like right away. There's definitely
Of
people in
course.
the industry that have, and they're amazing. But I think for a lot of people, it's definitely a thing of time, endurance, and willpower to like keep pushing your dreams. So in your case, what what keeps you going, man? In VO and also just in general.
Well, it really is truly the dessert of my life is community. See, we got there. We landed that plane.
We landed the plane. Let's
Um,
go.
but it's community. Genuinely, I would not be where I am without the people around me, without the people on my team, without people who believed in me, and many a time, even now, at times when I don't believe in myself, we all go through a lot when it comes to this life, this industry. It can be soul crushing. It um, can make you question your worth as an actor, as a person, and having people around you to keep you grounded in the good times and the bad is not just vital, it's required. I was doing this for a while by myself, and let me tell you, it was not fun. Not a fun time, gang.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, the the VO community as a whole is so enriching and so um, it warms the soul really to be a part of it because you get to cheer on your friends, you get to commiserate when shit sucks, and you get to witness people, as we were talking about earlier, like grow and develop their craft while we are all just having fun being, goofy as hell. I searched for a long time when I was a kid to have the sense of community, to have people who I could rely upon when I was going through a tough time. And for most of my life, I didn't have that. And so I picked the wrong profession at the start to search for like deep community because the community of theater and on camera is incredibly cutthroat.
Yeah.
And so when I got to be part of this community, when I became a voice actor, when I started meeting people, I was initially like very like touch and go. It's like how far do we need like at arm's length? How much do I need to say? How much do I need to guard myself because I know you're going to trip me up the first chance you get to get ahead of me. And that's not what
Yeah.
the VO community is about at all. I've never been part of a more welcoming, a more supportive community of people who are all working towards the same thing, but are also willing to help each other up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a large sentiment towards making sure that you drop the ladder down behind you in
Mm.
voiceover, and that is something that is more rare than you would think in this industry and in this life where we're all creatives trying to be creative. But like, I would not be where I am, without this community. I was doing it by myself for a while. I happened by chance to be part of this retreat a couple of years ago. Uh, that was put on as kind of a joint production by the Help Network and
Yeah.
Voiceover Camp. Shout out to both of them and all the
Yeah.
wonderful people who work for both companies. Um, and I made lifelong friendships there. I made incredible connections there. Um, I got a second lease on my creative life there. And, I don't want to oversell it, but there's an approach to voiceover that I had before that, an approach to voiceover I had after that. And it changed everything for me in my career. So like having people who have your shared interests, both in VO and outside of VO, because
Oh
there are
yeah.
plenty of people who we are friends with because of VO, who we also are chilling with for other reasons. I was just talking to a mutual friend of ours, Jonna, who has a birthday today,
Yeah,
I
it's your birthday today.
believe,
Yes.
as we're recording this.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to you, Jonna,
Hell yeah.
who we regularly, shoot the shit on Kingdom Hearts. Like,
Oh, did you give you the
we,
presentation as well?
oh, 100. The presentation was not, necessary, but it's always welcome. I'm always down for people to gush
Nice.
about Kingdom Hearts. But I think just having people in your life who support you and are willing to be supported by you um, is what keeps me going. Community is such a huge part of what I searched most of my life for and what I am very blessed to say I have found.
Hell yeah. Not that's awesome to hear, man. Like that's a beautiful way to put it. You not only landed the dessert pun we had going on, but you also brought it back to Goofy by mentioning Goofy like once. So like, dude, that's incredible.
Hey, I am just feeding off of your segue energy and just trying to do my best to like match it, man.
I
Like
appreciate that, man. Nah,
if we all just took a little bit of time and tried to see each other eye to eye, I think we really would, we the days would get easier.
damn, that's a real power line right there. But
Oh yeah.
hey,
Yes.
but yeah, dude. On that note, this interview comes to a close. Eric, dude, thank you so much again for coming on here, man. I really
Dude,
do appreciate you and your
this is a
time.
fucking delight, man. Like like you reaching out for your busy schedule because again, I gotta reiterate for the viewers and the listeners, like my man's killing it right now,
Oh,
and the fact that
stop
he
it, man.
still takes the time to like share stories with the people in our industry that are grinding as much as he is, like this is a invaluable resource. And I'm just like I'm glad to just be wandering in and out. I was honored that you asked me to be part of this. And I had a great time doing it.
Hell yeah, man. And yeah, seriously though, thank you for coming on. Like this is like fresh after Thanksgiving, like
Yeah, that's
like
true.
it's like that's crazy dedication to my little silly little safe space. So I appreciate it. Well, hopefully
Dude,
safe space. I don't know. But
safe spaces are more valuable in this world than anything. So the fact that you provide it, I will show up anytime you need me.
I appreciate that, man. But yeah, dude, where can people find you on socials and things like that? I can drop everything in the description below, including like your website and things like that.
Yeah, you can check out my escapades on my website, ericazana.com. That's AERICAZANA. I don't even know how to spell my own name. On socials, I'm on all platforms as at that daring man. And that's pretty much how you can find me. I host a podcast as
Oh,
well. It's a
nice.
comic book podcast called Geek Explained. We have a fun time. It's basically like a book club where we go through long form look backs on different comic runs.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
Hell
it's
yeah.
a fun time. So check us out there, and then yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah, man. But dude, Eric, thank you again so much for coming on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next episode, everybody. Bye, everyone.
Bye.